Well, welcome to Focus Today, and today is Friday, and today's the day that we have the Timinator in the house. Tim Elbert's with us from the Four Seasons Nursery, and we're here to take your phone calls because you're going into the weekend, and we're going to see our 80-degree temperatures this weekend.
Nice, very nice.
Everything's growing, including the weeds.
Oh, don't remind me.
Yeah,
don't remind me.
They're all over the place. All right, here's the deal, folks. He's got a beautiful flower here. What is this? What are we going to give away today?
This is a Fragrant Delight heliotrope.
Sure, you say that.
Yes, the heliotrope is a wonderful plant with a vanilla-like fragrance to the flowers.
Really?
And so this one has very dark green foliage and purple flowers.
Gorgeous.
It is an annual for us. You can overwinter them in the house, kind of like you would a geranium, but most people just let them go through the summer and start fresh again. Fast growing, about 2 feet tall.
Okay.
They're great in a container on the patio, in a spot where you're getting a little afternoon shade.
Okay.
But they will bloom their hearts out all summer long.
Really?
Yep.
Boy, now I do smell it now. I just got a whiff of it.
Yeah, that's
very fragrant.
Very, very fragrant.
All right, so here's the deal. We're giving this away today, and if you have any questions about what's going on in your yard, give us a call. The phone number is 776-5770. Now, that's a number directly to the studio, so don't call the main number. Call that number, 776-5770. And if you have any questions for Tim about what's going on in your yard, if you're going to be out gardening this weekend, your name's going to go in the hat, and somebody's going to win this beautiful, whatever the name of it is. It's gorgeous, and it smells
Fragrant
wonderful.
Delight.
Okay, it is, I can smell the vanilla now.
Yeah.
You know, all right, there it goes. It took a while for my nose to tune in. So anyway, 776-5770 if you have any questions for Tim. Great weather. Things are happening real fast. I was told by somebody that worked with you that even though I put the fertilizer down about a month ago, I probably should hit it again.
Yeah, not a bad idea. If you haven't
on the lawn now, we're talking.
If you haven't fed the lawn in a while, it's a good time to get that going again. Generally, our lawn fertilizers last about 8 weeks. So, you know, if it's been a month, you're probably still okay for a little while. But most people have been putting fertilizer down, you know, probably in February, early March. Now you're getting ready to do it again. What we're putting on right now is the Weed Out, which is a weed and feed. Now, this would be a perfect weekend because we want those temperatures up around 80 degrees. We want to be over 70, and 80 is even better for this to work. And you put it down on a wet lawn. So the lawn is wet. Put this stuff down. That water makes the pellets stick to the leaves, and then the chemical that kills the weeds leaches into the leaves, kills the weeds in the lawn, and then feeds the lawn as well. So,
all right, well, there you go. If you want some lawn care, there's a lot of other things going on, weeds in general, you know, and I thank the Lord I got on I have a bad spot that I always weed eat down and spray, and fortunately I got it down. A few spots that I miss, I can come back and kind of, you know, take care of, but for the most part, it's working.
Good.
You know. So I'll get the weeds under control.
At least till summer when you run out of water.
Yeah, and that is coming. All right, and again, the number is 776-5770. Again, area code 541-776-5770. That is a number to the studio here to talk to Tim. Your name's going to go ahead, and somebody's going to win this beautiful purple flower that grows about 2 feet tall. It does have a unique vanilla fragrance to it, and will it get bushier?
Oh yes, quite a bit. So 2 feet tall and just as wide.
Really?
Yes, and they just the blooms.
And you're saying a little
afternoon
sun, morning sun's okay, afternoon shade.
Yeah, a little shade in the afternoon is what they need. So, but the rest of the time it can be sunny, it'll be fine. They'll take a fairly shady location as well.
All right. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for calling in. What's your question for Tim today?
We planted 2 Photinia plants about 3 feet tall about 2 weeks ago. One of them is doing great. The other one, the leaves are starting to curl. And I wonder if that's a problem.
Yeah, curling leaves on Photinia, not a good sign. Have you inspected it? Is it the new growth? First of all, is it the new growth that's curling up?
Well, I think so, but I mean, it hasn't been in a long enough to put out a lot of new growth. So but it's at the end of the stem.
So on the tips of those, on the branches, the new growth that's there, that's what's curling. Have you opened up to look to see inside the curls if there's any insects in there?
We don't see anything, and they're not curled like closed yet or anything. They're just starting to look different.
Oh, okay. I asked that question because right now with all of the this tender growth, the aphids are starting to come out, and that's usually the first sign of aphids is those leaves curling like that. In that situation, it could just be some transplant shock, maybe some root damage that the plant is trying to recover from. And in that case, just some root stimulator and see if that works out. Not a bad idea, though, if you get a chance to snip a piece off, put it in a sealed plastic bag, and bring it into us for us to look at, just to see if there's any insects going on there.
Okay. And we can spray for that if that's the case?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah,
okay.
If it's insects, there's several different things you can do, but yeah, or even ladybugs. We do ladybugs as well. So.
Okay. The root stimulator, is that just you water with that?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
All right,
Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. All right, the number is 776-5770. And if you have any questions for Tim about what's going on in your yard, especially this weekend, it's going to be the first really warming up weekend. Temperatures upper 70s and low 80s all the way through the weekend. And so a lot going on in the yards. And if you're going to be out and about and you got any questions about what to do, give them a call, 541-776-5770. Hi, Helen. What's going on with your mushrooms?
I don't know. The yard was full of them this year.
Ooh.
And I was wondering if there's something that I could spread out that wouldn't affect the dog when he's out and about.
Sure. Usually that's a sign that your pH is off on your lawn. And so add some lime and get that incorporated into the lawn, water it in, and that should take care of those mushrooms, and it'll be perfectly safe for your animals.
Yeah, because he got something in his mouth and almost lost him because they poisoned him.
Oh, yeah. Mushrooms are, that can be kind of dangerous.
Yeah. Okay, thank you much.
Okay.
You guys have a good one.
Okay, you too. Mushrooms, low pH, huh?
Yeah, it usually means that you have an acidic condition or, yes, a low pH. So bringing that up. It's a lot of times when we feed our lawns over and over and over a long period of time, we are lowering the pH of that soil. And so we need to sweeten that back up with a little bit of lime. If we lived in the Willamette Valley, lime would be something you would just do on an annual basis anyways because they're acidic soils. Typically down here, our soils tend to be a little more neutral. But over a period of time, we still need to add that lime.
All right. Again, any questions for Tim? Get your name in the hat. 541-776-5770. Hi, Abby. What's going on with your aphids?
That's what I want to know. I want them gone.
You haven't named them?
Every one of them gone.
Oh, those poor aphids. They need a new home. So you put up, the best thing you can do is to put up a no vacancy sign on your plants.
Okay.
All right. Next call. No. There's several different ways to get rid of the aphids. Ladybugs are a great way to do that. And then also there's a spray that's called broad spectrum insecticide from Fertilome, and it incorporates an active ingredient called bifenthrin. That doesn't mean a whole lot, except that it is a very safe product to use and is very effective on the aphids. And so that would be the one that I would suggest for you.
Well, do you sell the ladybugs? Where do I get the ladybugs?
We do sell ladybugs. We're out of them currently. I'm hoping that the package shows up in the mail today. So check with me later in the day, and we'll let you know if they've shown up. If not, it'll probably be Monday.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. Ladybugs. So how many do you get when you're fighting those? How many do you put out there?
Well, they come in a bag of 500, and which I want the job of counting those. A I want to get paid minimum wage to count ladybugs.
Well, at 15 bucks an hour, you can turn that into a career.
But anyways, so they come 500 in a package, and of course you're going to release all of them when you do release them. But you take them home, spritz them with a little bit of water, put them in the fridge, and their metabolism just slows to a creeping halt, and you will bring them out at dusk. And the reason why you put them out at dusk is because they're going to say, it's nighttime, I'm going to go find a little spot where I can hide from predators, and then in the morning I'm going to go look for food. So putting them out at dusk is the best way. If you put them out early in the morning, then they're going to fly away. So put them out at dusk, and again, before you put them out, you spritz them with water. They can't fly away if they're wet. And so you open up the bag, and they'll crawl out and go all over your stuff. Around the nursery, we take them, we just shake them around wherever there's a little aphid breakout, and usually within a couple of days, the aphids are gone. So
that's amazing. All right, let's go back to the phones again. If you have any questions for Tim, 776-5770. One more question before we take a break. Hi, Aaron. What's going on with your asparagus?
It's dying. Yeah, it'll get about maybe 3 or 4 inches tall, and then it just wilts. And we water it, and we don't want to get it too wet, but for some reason it's just not producing like it should, like it did last year.
Yeah, that actually could be fungus related. So don't water at all. Let them do their thing. You may not get a crop this year if that's the case. If it continues to get worse, you'll need a fungicide, in which case then you won't be able to harvest till next year at all.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That answers my question. Doggone it.
Yeah. Sorry, Aaron. When you do get a crop, let me know. I'll bring the mayonnaise. It's 18 minutes past there. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, take more of your phone calls. The phone number is 776-5770, and your name's going to go in the hat. Somebody's going to win this beautiful purple flower, and the name of it is?
Fragrant Delight Heliotrope.
That's what it is. It's beautiful. All right, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Well, welcome back, and Tim Elbert's with us today from the Four Seasons Nursery, and we're taking your phone calls about maybe some issues going on with your yard, and your name goes in the hat for this beautiful purple flower that has kind of a interesting vanilla fragrance to it. It's really pretty, and it gets about 2 feet tall and wide, and you say it's going to bloom all summer.
Yes.
And it'd be great in a pot, maybe on your porch or someplace. A little morning sun's okay, a little afternoon shade is better. So think about that if you're going to put that in a pot. And the name of it is?
Fragrant Delight Heliotrope.
We'll just go with Fragrant Delight.
That'll work.
Okay. Anyway, somebody's going to win that. And when you call in, your name goes in the hat for the drawing at the end of the program. 541-776-5770. By the way, the Four Seasons Nursery out on Highway 62. You get off on Violets Road, you go up about half mile or so. You can't miss it. You'll see all the flowers and the hanging pots, and the nursery is just gorgeous. I drove by the other day. You guys are really in great shape. And the basket's tough.
Rumor has it.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that we will have some small baskets arriving sometime today.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
So if you want one of those famous hanging baskets, the smaller ones, about that big?
Yeah, these will be the 12-inch baskets,
Yeah.
our smallest one that we do. Yeah.
Okay, so first come, first serve. They go pretty fast, but the big ones, you have to get your name in the hat pretty far in advance for that. But anyway, they're gorgeous to see them around town. You're going to be in Ashland this year. Talent, where else?
Ashland, Phoenix, and Talent.
Yeah.
Center Point is adding 7 more. Wow. So Center Point and Eagle Point. And I believe Rogue River is buying baskets from us this year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
They're just beautiful. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, Charlene. What's up?
Hi, interestingly enough, about a heliotrope.
All right.
I had one in a fairly large gas pot, I would say about 12 inches, and I had it outdoors, and it was, I love the smell of them. And I brought it in to my enclosed patio, which...
Oh, we're losing you. We lost you. Okay, Charlene, call back. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe you're on a cell phone. Sorry about that. 541-776-5770. Let's go to Alice. Hi, Alice. What's happening with your fruit trees?
Well, they're looking pretty good this year. They've just got. I'm getting feedback. I got some blooms on my apple trees and my peach trees. I have a couple of plum trees that haven't done anything yet, but they're pretty young. I would say about 3-4 years old.
Okay.
And so what I wanted to know is when I should feed them.
Oh, you should do that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what should I feed them?
Well, a couple of different choices for you. First of all, the Fertilome tree and shrub food is a good all-purpose one for all your trees and shrubs, fruiting and non-fruiting. So that would be the one that I would suggest mainly because it's just so versatile. It's very quick acting, and usually one application is all it takes for the whole season. Now,
okay.
Yeah. Now there is another one. If you want to go with a organic version, the Espoma fruit tree fertilizer works very good, and I do believe we have that available. If not the fruit tree one, then just the standard plant tone, which is their basic fertilizer. So either one of those would work just fine as an organic alternative.
Okay, that would be great. And
Okay.
Last year I noticed my peach tree, and I actually had some peaches on there, but they didn't do real well. But I started to get a little bit of curling on them. I think it's called a frost peach.
Okay.
And it did, like I said, the peaches, I don't know if it was too hot or what, but they just, they didn't look really happy. They were sad.
Well, the frost peach tends to be very resistant to peach leaf curl, which is the disease they get in the spring that causes that curled, blistering look on the leaves. But it sounds to me like perhaps your situation is a little different. It sounds like more like definitely a heat issue. When it gets really hot in the summertime, those leaves tend to curl and droop a bit, even if we're watering. So expect that sometimes. It doesn't really hurt the tree. It does kind of look a little odd, but it's just the tree trying to change the angle that the sun is hitting the leaves so that it's not so hot. And, so it just does that a bit. And but if it concerns you, always bring us a sample in a sealed plastic bag, and we will be happy to check it out and see if there's any issues.
Okay.
Thanks,
and can I ask one other question?
Oh, sure. It's Friday.
Okay. I have blueberry bushes that I planted last year, and I noticed they're all blooming. If I want the bushes, they look kind of spindly. So if I want the bushes to be looking a little beefier, is there anything I can do there?
Well, not at this point if you're expecting to harvest some fruit. So at this point, you don't want to do anything other than maybe a little fertilizer on those. Now we use an acid fertilizer for those. So the holly tone, that's the Espoma one that is organic, or an azalea fertilizer on those. You don't want to do any pruning because you're going to lose your blooms if you do that. Now they are going to bush up quite a bit more as they continue to grow this year, so you might just give them a little chance to see what they're going to do before you worry about doing any pruning. If you want to do pruning, prune them after harvest, directly after harvest.
Okay.
All right. Just cut off the bloom, where the berries would be then.
Yeah. At that point, the only pruning you need to do would be whatever you want to make them bushier.
Okay.
So, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Alice. All right, 776-5770. Get your name in the hat. We'll squeeze in one more call here before we take a break. Hey, Dick over in Coos Bay, you're fighting flying ants?
Yes, sir. These are about 3/4 inch flying ant things, and they come in on one end of the house under the door. Now, does that mean that there's a nest of them someplace?
It means
like
that it means that they're on the move and they're getting ready to nest. So they're looking for a place to nest. So you definitely want to make sure that you are treating for that, especially any exposed wood and things, because generally those ones that you're seeing are wood-eating ants. So you're going to want to watch for that, for sure.
Well, we have a wooden deck that seems to be on that end of the house, and I'm wondering if what I need to do is get underneath that deck and spray, and then I need recommendations of some kind of spray that's not going to affect our parrots.
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I don't have that type of a thing because structural spraying is different from garden spraying. So I know that the chemicals are the same, but we start to get into a weird area there where specific licensing is required. So my suggestion would be to contact an exterminator in your area and have them check that out. Yeah.
All right. Well, we did that, and they want to sell you a whole program. So
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You know, you might just check with them, find out what they use. You can ask them what they use, and then you may be able to work on that. But again, you know, if you've got pet birds, you know, especially if they are outside of the cage, you want to be careful with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that we recognize.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, thanks, Dick. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, you know, we'll take your phone calls. If you have a question for Tim, your name goes in the hat for this beautiful purple flower. The phone number is 776-5770. But, you know, we've been talking about the Miracle Rose formula.
Yes.
And I know that you sold it in kind of bulk. How'd you do it this year?
Yeah, in bulk. Yeah, we just mixed it all up together and sold it by the pound.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's that interesting combination, the miracle combination. We'll call it the Anita combination with my mother's name. She's the one that turned me on, or turned Peggy onto this. Anyway, it's a combination of alfalfa meal and Epsom salt that you put on your roses in February after you've pruned them all the way back.
Right.
And I've always said, if you do this, you'll have the prettiest roses in town, right? Mm-hmm. I got proof. I'll show you when we come back.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
Okay, we are back with Tim Elbert from the Four Seasons Nursery, and they're open from, let me see, 9 to 6.
Monday through Saturday.
Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 on Sunday?
Yes.
What do you know?
Hey,
they're open.
You got it. You got it this time.
You go on Highway 62, get off on Violet's Road, just go up a little bit. You can't miss the nursery on the right there. It's beautiful. Home of the famous Crater Lake baskets and all the other things. And rumors are that they'll have some baskets in the nursery, the smaller ones, later today. So it's kind of first come, first served. And anyway, beautiful flowers we're giving away here in a few moments. The blooming what?
Fragrant Delight Heliotrope.
Fragrant Delight.
Yeah.
And this thing actually has a vanilla fragrance to it. You can smell it in the studio here this morning. It's just beautiful. So we'll be giving that away at the end of the program when you get your name in the hat. All right, Charlene, hold on. Before we go to Charlene, we've been talking about this famous rose formula, and you said people come in and...
Yep, people come in and to get the rose formula, and they tell me, they say, I tried it for the first time last year, and you're right, I had the best looking roses I've ever had.
All right, so here we are, April, and the roses are on. And Peggy this morning went out and picked some roses off of her flowers. And I don't know the name of these roses, but there's some of her first roses this morning. Aren't they beautiful?
Oh, wow, yeah.
And so she's got a little bouquet of roses there in the house, and that's kind of like the first picking, you know.
Well, you know, in contrast to that, I should take a picture of my roses at home.
Yeah.
That did not get the Anita.
Really? You sell it, but you don't use it. Oh, well, you go to the woodshed.
Yeah, you should, yes.
I'm going to send you to the greenhouse.
Yeah, there's not a bloom on them.
Really?
They are just barely poking their heads up right now, yes. They don't look very good at all, but I have to say they're actually slated to be removed, so that's why they didn't get anything where.
Well, the only thing I can say is you can't put this formula on now. It comes when they're completely dormant and you've cut all the way back, so you do it in February, and believe me, all summer long you'll have just gorgeous roses. All right, let's go back to the phone. If you have any questions for Tim, give us a call, 541-776-5770. 541-776-5770. Thanks, Charlene, for calling back. Sorry, we had phone problems. How you doing?
Well, somebody interrupted my call, and I don't know how they managed to get in, but they did.
Okay.
Yes, back to the heliotrope.
Yes.
Is it better off? I brought it in the fall on an enclosed patio that had ventilation, and it didn't be so hot in there. Would I have been better off to leave it outside or put it in the ground?
No, because it would have died. They're not perennial here. So leaving it outside, it would have frozen and it wouldn't come back. They don't end up looking very good in the house. We just don't have the quality of light that they need. And so usually you treat it kind of like a geranium and just cut it way back, keep it on the dry side, and then just allow it to begin to come back. So if you've got it and it's still alive and it looks awful, just cut it way back, put it out in a sunny location, and let it start to flush back out. And you'll be in pretty good shape.
They're so wonderful, and they smell so great. You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Arlene. All right, the number is 776-5770. And give Tim a call if you got any questions about things going on in your yard or not going on in your yard. This is going to be a beautiful weekend to be out in the yard. And if you haven't done all of your spring cleaning up, well, you're behind. The lawn's really growing and things are happening, and if you're transplanting or putting color in, a great opportunity to talk to Tim. You don't have to stand in line to do it. Just give us a call, 541-776-5770, and somebody's going to win this beautiful and very fragrant purple flower. I'm just going to say that. It gets about 2 feet tall, 2 feet wide, and you'll say this blooms all summer long. Be great in a pot, and put there on your porch or someplace. Just really, and the fragrance, I didn't smell it at first, but now it's moving around in the room here.
Yeah, just get a little warmer, and it's the fragrance really starts to get going.
All right, so if you got any questions, 776-5770, and a lot of color in the nursery.
Oh yeah. Just got in a fresh load of annuals, and so there's a lot of annuals out right now. And veggies too. Yep, we just got our first shipment of summer veggies in. So there's tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers and things like that. I'd caution you though, if you do not have the ability to protect those in some cold weather, then wait. But if you've got the ability to cover them, protect them, then get them in the ground now. We've got some great temperatures going on this weekend, and it'd be great to get those guys in a nice early start.
Well, we can get fooled in Oregon, as we all know. We can get these 80-degree days, and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, we get snow again.
20 degrees.
Yeah, and we still could get a lot of rain through the spring, and we hope that we do because our water tables are still low. We're doing better, but we got a long ways to go. But you're right. So if you're going to put things out there, you got to have the ability, perhaps, to protect them.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. 776-5770 is the number to call Tim and ask a question, trees, and all of that that's going on. Tree planting okay now?
Yes, great timing for trees.
Really?
Yes, I cannot tell you how many trees have been going out the nursery.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is keeping us very busy. But yeah, it is an excellent time for trees. So if you are looking to put in a tree, you're going to really want to get that done before it gets too late into summer. So you want them in there and growing and producing foliage, etc., before that summer heat hits. Those roots can get established a little quicker, and they'll do a lot better.
Okay. Hi, Leslie.
Hello.
What's going on with your peach tree?
Well, okay, there's a delay, so this is funny.
Just talk to us. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay. Well, we're first-year peach tree people, and we've got them still in their planters, and we're wondering how far apart to plant them, and how deep, and about how much space they're going to need in our yard.
Okay, so peach trees, if you're getting probably semi-dwarf trees, this is usually what are being sold these days, are going to reach about 15 feet maximum in size. And that would be width as well as height. So you want to keep them a good 20 feet apart so that you have room around them so you can maintain them and you can harvest, etc. Now you can go closer than that if you want to keep them trimmed. And you could put them as close as 10 feet apart and maintain them, and you'd still be in pretty good shape and still have good production. So you want to, as far as how deep to plant them, you want to go just to covering the roots, no deeper than that. The graft needs to be above ground, and any stem that is between the graft and the top root should still be above ground. So only bury the root system. Peaches like a well-drained soil. So be sure that you're amending the soil well and that you've got good drainage in that area, and you should have pretty good success with peaches.
Okay, what's good to use to amend the soil? Can we use some sand or something like that? Because our soil gets really hard. Yeah,
you can add some sand, but also add some organic material like decomposed bark mulch, or we carry one called soil conditioner, and it's a combination of a few things, some manure, some wood product, and a few other things. And it works very good for helping to loosen the soil as well as to help hold moisture and nutrients.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, and about how long does it take until actual peaches come on the tree?
Well, that's going to be determined by the age of the tree that you're planting. Now, typically the ones that we sell are at fruit-bearing age already, and so you would, very good chance you'd get fruit the first year. But some of the smaller trees that are out there can take a couple of years before they actually start to produce.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, sir.
Yeah.
All right, you're welcome.
And Leslie, we'll wait for a peach pie. We don't care. We'll wait.
Yeah, no matter how long it takes.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you don't mind if I buy the crust.
No, that's fine. That's okay. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, the number is 541-776-5770. That's a number to the studio, 776-5770. And that'll get you directly to the control room and into the studio, so you can ask Tim a question. Then your name goes in the hat for this beautiful, fragrant purple flower that we're going to give away here in just a little bit. And that is a beautiful plant. What else do you have that's fragrant out there? What's the one I like? Oh, there's a lot of them, but I'm trying to the white flower one.
The gardenia?
Gardenias.
Yeah, we have some of the
Do they do
climbs.
well in Southern Oregon?
There's two varieties that will. The climb's hardy, and we do have some of those in right now. They're just getting budded now. Mm-hmm. And coming in, I believe, next week, coming from California, it will be some frost-proof gardenia, which is the other variety. And have them coming from California means they'll be a little bit ahead, which means we're expecting to have some nice blooms on those already.
Really?
Yeah.
And how long do they keep blooming?
Through the summer. The gardenias will put out a lot of blooms, and then they'll just kind of stop, and then they'll put out a lot of blooms and they'll stop. So you can get 2, 3, sometimes even 4 bloom cycles out of a gardenia all through the summer.
And where do you plant them?
I like to see them where they're getting some afternoon shade. I tried them in full sun, and it was a hot spot, and they did burn a little bit. So my suggestion, they take quite a bit of sun, but my suggestion is a little afternoon shade. They'll be best.
All right. Again, if you got any questions for Tim before we take a break, 541-776-5770. This will be your last chance, so give us a buzz. Ask your question, get your name in the hat. By the way, do you sell the sprinkler supplies?
We do sell some drip supplies.
You do? Drip, yeah. Okay. Oh, drip, okay. Not the... I'm learning more about irrigating than I care to know. I just want to go over and hit the button and have it do something. Instead, I'm dealing with heads and lines and all this stuff. And I go,
yeah, that's what you hire someone else for.
Is that what it is? Okay, I'll stay in broadcasting and hire an irrigator. Yep. All right, 776-5770 is the number. We'll take a quick break and we'll come right back.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I work at theDove TV. You know, compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
Okay, our final segment with Tim Elbert from the Four Seasons Nursery, and you asked the question, he has the answers. And
well, we could ask questions too.
Yeah, we could.
And you can call in with the answers.
I tell you what, yeah, you ask me the question, I'll just say something. Anyway, if you've never been to the Four Seasons Nursery, let me encourage you to check it out. It's really something. It's out on Highway 62, so you kind of go out, past Costco and up to the next light, which is Vilas Road. You hop off there and you get on the frontage road, which goes past the Army-Navy store, and you can't miss it. It's right there on the right, and beautiful. And if you're looking for a lot of color, and if you're going to get kind of into it this weekend with the 80-degree temperatures around, this is a good weekend. And a lot of mowing, and his lawn program works. I will say that. I had incredible drought problems last year. I put your lawn stuff on about a month ago. Now I gotta mow it.
Now you gotta mow it. Yes.
Yeah. Our roses are beautiful. Peggy, she just does a class act with the roses, and they all popped up because we have the magic Anita formula, we call it, and it's just wonderful. So anyway, good advice and a lot of great products out there at the Four Seasons Nursery. 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 on Sunday. And he's in the concessional Sunday night for not being in church Sunday morning. All right. So anyway, 776-5770. Let's go to the phones. And hi, Janet. You've been very patient. What's going on with your drip system?
Yes. I was trying to think of something to ask, and there it was. I have a raised bed in a 20 by 20 foot plot at a community garden, and one of them is 3 feet wide by 20 feet long, and the other raised beds are 4 foot wide, and some are 7 foot, some are 8 foot long. And I'm wondering what the best type of drip system is. I've got the black drip hose, and that gets clogged up sometimes. It runs on well water. And then I've got the flat green strips that, it sprays up in the air. And I'm wondering which type of drip system would be best, and which, how many rows. The 3 foot wide row, should I just put one strip down the middle, or two, and what about the 4 foot? Yeah, I'm not sure what would work best. Because when the veggies get bigger, the that green strip that sprays up, is it going to water properly?
Yeah.
What to do?
I like the laser tubing better, or I think they call it dripper tubing now because they use it's different. But I'm partial to that. and it comes in like a 6-inch or 12-inch spacing on the holes, and I would suggest, you know, it just depends a lot on what you're planting in there, but I would still suggest 2 rows of tubing in the 3-foot and the 4-foot beds. There's not enough difference there for that to be an issue, 1 or 2. I would go 2 in each one, traveling the length of the planters. If you're having trouble with that clogging, put a filter on the end before the water goes into those things. So right at the end of the bed, you can cut into that 1/2-inch tubing and add a filter in there, and that you can clean out occasionally, and that'll help a lot with the clogging issues that are there. So.
And what's the type of tubing you said?
They call it dripper tubing now. Yeah.
Dripper tubing. There you go.
Is that that's the kind that just drips, it doesn't spray up?
Yeah, that kind of sprays up. Now you can use that, but it tends to spread out over a large area. If you want to use that, the flat tubing, turn it upside down so that it's spraying down instead of spraying up, and you can have pretty good success that way.
Okay, it wouldn't dig holes in the ground.
Oh yeah, maybe a little here and there, but nothing to be worried about. Yeah.
Okay, and then in part of that pot I have red raspberries, and it doesn't look like any of them are really making it. Would it be best just to pull them out and put new ones in?
Well, being a guy that sells plants, absolutely. Having said that, you know, is there something wrong with your plants? Are they not leafing out well, or?
Well, I just took over the plot, and I see one plant. There's about 4 rows. You know, it's about 5 by 6 foot plot in that 20-foot plot, but they just don't look very well.
Yeah. Well, you can.
She'd like to pull some up from somewhere else and put them in, because there's lots of starch in another garden.
Yeah, that happens with those. They tend to pop up all over the place. But try feeding them and giving them plenty of water, and see if that doesn't help. And if it doesn't help, we've got some absolutely beautiful raspberries right now that are blooming, and some are even starting to produce fruit.
Awesome. Maybe I'll get different types of berries.
Okay,
well, thank you so much.
Okay,
all right, you're welcome.
All right, we can still squeeze in a couple calls. We got enough time. The phone number is 776-5770. If you have a question for Tim, give us a call. Let's see if I can get my... This is not... There we go. Okay. Hi, Gene. Are you there, Gene?
Yeah.
What's going on? You want to transplant something, huh?
I'm just going to try and turn the television down. Okay, my question is, I've got several flower boxes and several plant, flower pots, and I don't know whether I'm supposed to change the soil from last year.
Oh,
you know what I'm trying to say? I now want to plant a lot of new flowers for this summer.
If it's only 1-year-old potting soil, you're probably in pretty good shape, and you can reuse that potting soil for this year. If it's 2 years old or older, then take that potting soil out, mix it half and half with some fresh potting soil, and put that back in.
Oh.
And you'll be in pretty good shape that way.
Okay, because, a flower pot is a lot of work compared to putting stuff in the ground when you have to deal with little flower pots and window boxes and...
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. So dump out... I can't just pull out a few handfuls. You say dump the whole pot.
Yeah, you want to do that because you want to get all that potting soil out and mixed with fresh potting soil, so that you don't have pockets of fresh potting soil. You have the fresh potting soil mixed with the bad, or I should say old. So, yeah.
I see, because some of the flower pots are fairly big, and some of the flower window boxes are pretty big, and they're kind of hard for me to, tip upside down. But I'll try that.
Yeah, I definitely want to dig it out. You may have to, instead of dumping, you may have to dig it out. But you will find that it will do much better if you do that.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right, 776-5770. Let's see if we can squeeze in a couple more here. Hi, Jane, what's up?
Hi, I was just wondering if it's okay to fertilize your lawn. I have a humongous lawn. In the middle of it, I have a well. So I'm wondering what kind of fertilization I can use or weed control, actually, that I can use without it seeping into the well.
The weed and feed that we use does not travel very deep in the soil. So you are perfectly safe using the Fertilum weed out plus lawn food is what it's called. You're perfectly safe using that over the top of your well. So that would be what I would suggest for you.
Okay, because I was just really worried. I don't really like well water because I filter the water anyway to drink, but I just didn't know what kind of fertilization.
Yeah, you can use an organic
weed control because it's like a lot of weeds.
Yeah, you can use an organic, but there's no weed control associated with the organics, and so just the Fertilum weed out with lawn food, that would work just fine for you.
Okay.
All right, that's awesome. Thank you.
All righty.
All right, let me see, have you draw a name here in just a second. Somebody's going to win, and tell us about the plant one more time.
Fragrant Delight Heliotrope, for a spot where you're getting a little afternoon shade. Bloom all summer, makes a nice fragrant addition to the patio table or front door area or anything.
Draw a name.
Okay.
And the winner is?
The winner is Helen.
Helen.
Yes.
All right, Helen, congratulations. We'll be in contact with you. You can pick this up out of the nursery. You got a lot of color out there. And again, the hanging baskets, you're going to have the small ones in today?
That's what they tell me. So
it's first come, first serve.
Yeah.
They go pretty fast and they'll cascade down, right? And primarily, what's the plan in those?
Now, those are going to be all mixes.
Okay.
So there'll be several different plants in each one. So we have, I think, 5 different mixes that we have available.
Okay. And they'll bloom all summer?
Yes. Yep, they will bloom all summer.
You got to water them. Now, when you put things in pots, if you're not careful and you keep watering it, the nutrients drain out. So what do you have for what do you recommend for fertilizer for things that are in a pot?
Things that are in a pot, you're right. The nutrients tend to leach out quickly, and so you want to always be replenishing. So we use a product by Fertilum called Geranium Hanging Basket and Pansy Food, and it's a balanced fertilizer that is a very stable form. It's a powder. You just mix it with water. You water them in with that. We do that on a weekly basis, and you'll have the best success that way. We have done little experiments where we do that with one, and we use a slow release for the other, where you put it in just maybe once or twice a year. The difference is amazing. It's night and day difference. The ones that we use the liquid fertilizer on are always bigger, fuller, brighter, more flowers, etc. So if you really want your stuff to take over, look really good, that Geranium Hanging Basket and Pansy is excellent.
All right, they're open from 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Sunday, and trees and plants and flowers and good advice, they're the place to go. If you want one of these hanging baskets, and they go pretty fast, now these are the smaller ones, the 12-inch ones, you may want to mosey out today or first thing tomorrow for sure, and grab one while they're still there. And let me just make mention, Mother's Day is coming up, so you might want to just walk through the nursery and eyeball something.
There are some beautiful dogwoods right now.
Really?
No, they make a great Mother's Day present. Yeah, you know, you can one of your kids can get it for mom for Mother's Day, and the other one can plant it for mom for Mother's Day.
Well, there you go. All right, thanks, Tim. Again, Four Seasons Nursery out on Highway 62. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. See you next time.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I work at theDove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, theDove.us.